He mocked me in front of hundreds. So I took down his entire empire piece by piece.
He tried to speak, but only a strained breath came out. I ended the call, leaned back in my chair, and looked out over the Pennsylvania hills from my office. Soon, I would tell Lucy everything. It all started at my Harvard Law 15-year reunion. My wife, Lucy, had insisted we go. As she straightened my tie, she said, "Most of these people admire what you do, even if they pretend otherwise." I wasn't so sure. My field, environmental law, isn't exactly glamorous next to billion-dollar corporate mergers. My classmates dine with CEOs. I'm usually ankle-deep in rivers, collecting contaminated water samples. Lucy, radiant in her emerald dress, held my hand as we walked into the grand ballroom. For a moment, seeing old friends, I thought maybe she was right. Then I saw him. Philip Langdon, the golden boy of our class, now a Wall Street mogul. He was holding court in the center of the room. I tried to steer Lucy towards the bar, but a heavy hand slapped my shoulder. "Matt Harrington," he boomed. "Still saving the world one frog at a time?" I forced a smile. "Good to see you, Philip." He looked me up and down, appraising my net worth. "Still doing the environmental thing, right?" Admirable work, not exactly lucrative. Before I could answer, Lucy stepped forward. I introduced her. Philip kissed her hand dramatically, and she actually blushed. Then he raised his voice for everyone to hear. "Your husband's a regular Don Quixote, Lucy, fighting windmills while the rest of us build wind farms." Laughter rippled through the group. My jaw tightened. "Matt's work is important," Lucy said, her voice firm. "Oh, I agree," Philip smirked. "Someone has to save the rare frogs." More laughter. That's when something inside me snapped. "And how many communities have you poisoned to make your fortune, Philip?" The room went silent. His smile vanished. "Excuse me?" "I've seen the aftermath of your acquisitions," I said. "You gut compliance departments, defer maintenance, and vanish before the cancer clusters show up." Philip leaned in, his breath heavy with bourbon. "That's the difference between us, Matt. You see problems, I see opportunities. While your motions get denied by judges I play golf with, I create value. That's why I have a 9-figure net worth and you still drive a Subaru?" He grinned. "Some people just don't have what it takes to play in the big leagues," as Lucy pulled me away. I heard him say, "Small players should stick to small games." That night his voice echoed in my head. I had spent 15 years fighting for people who had nothing, and what did I have to show for it? By morning, something inside me had hardened. I didn't want revenge, I wanted justice. 3 weeks later, a woman named Elena Rodriguez walked into my office. "My husband worked at the Keystone factory for 30 years, she said, her eyes filled with grief. "He died of cancer. Half my block is sick. And now a company called Horizon Industrial Partners wants to reopen it without proper cleanup." She handed me a brochure, Horizon Industrial Partners. "A subsidiary of Langdon Capital, Philip." I took the case. Riverdale was a forgotten steel town, and its residents were scared. The EPA had found toxins at the factory site years ago, but nothing was ever done. Digging through records at the Historical Society, I found an 1870s map showing a natural spring on the land. The original deed preserved public access to that spring in perpetuity. The right had never been removed. Philip planned to build his chemical storage directly on top of it. I filed for an injunction and won. Work at the factory stopped. Philip sent lawyers to charm, threaten, and then bribe me. When that failed, he called me himself. We met, and he offered a decent deal full cleanup, transparency, a community trust, but I didn't trust him. "You already made this personal," I told him. We took the deal back to the town and countered with stronger demands. When Philip refused, he declared war. They launched smear campaigns and hired investigators. Then a whistleblower came forward. A young analyst from Langdon Capital gave me internal documents proving Philip knew about the contamination risks all along. His signature was on everything. I filed the documents with the court and sent copies to journalists. Within hours, the story exploded nationwide. Philip called, furious. "Do you know what you've done?" He yelled. "Yes," I said calmly. I told the truth. By midnight, he'd signed our deal, accepting full personal liability. Riverdale won. 6 months later, a defeated Philip showed up at my office and handed me a check for $5 million for the community fund. My board asked for my resignation, he said quietly. You were right. About everything. I nodded. This was never about destroying you, Philip. But you did, he said. No, you did that to yourself. As he left, I called after him. That job offer still open? He actually laughed. I called Lucy. How does it feel? She asked. I thought about Riverdale clean water, safe jobs. Better than I expected, I said, because some things aren't for sale. Not integrity, not people, and not justice. That's why I love you, she said. I grabbed my coat. I'll be home soon. Let's celebrate. Celebrate what? That sometimes, I said, the little guy actually wins. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.